Thank you for that question. That was a really special scene because in the prep that we were doing before we even started shooting, we did a lot of improv, both animal improv and also just human kind of dialogue improv, and I think that kind of informed a lot of what is in the movie and helped us kind of really build on the characters. And so that scene is something that we kind of did a lot of in that kind of preparation, not even necessarily to prepare the scene, but for George and I to kind of get to know each other as our animals, as who we believe that we are in the film. And so it was kind of really beautiful to see how that scene evolved, because we talked about this earlier, but the first time, the first kind of go at it was really different from what we saw, and it kind of went through so many phases in between. But it was a really special one. We ended up saying at the end that it ended up being kind of like almost like a ballet, like an animal ballet or something. And
I used to joke with Lily and George and say, like, if we end up, you see the camera pulling away and just being really far, it means that it's terrible. And we're doing it all in a wide shot. Because I think it was one of those scenes that in the script was like, Lily and George get to know each other on the rooftop, like, and then next scene, until you started that process of workshopping and figuring out what they're going to look like together. And obviously, we did have rehearsal time, but you don't have like the months that you dream of, like when you think that you're planning for, like, oh, I'm going to do workshops in November, and then we're going to actually shoot in June, and we're going to have all this time, the actors will just come and go, and of course nothing like that happens at all. And so there's so many question marks, and I was really terrified that it would be hammy, and I think, so we did dedicate a lot of time workshopping it, and then I think at some point we were just like filming in this really terrible, like dingy room in the hotel, and on the iPhones, and actually you just felt something come to life. So there was choreography, but I think then the choreography was quite dismantled, and there was a lot of like, just going like, get closer, right away, and then they were just so present in the moment that like everything that they would react to in terms of direction just felt like something very natural. In fact, it almost worked better, didn't it, when we started like just shouting like different things.
We were so like directed as we were
but you guys were just so in your characters that I think it felt like you were sort of in a spell and would break out of it and then come together, and it kind of created this.
We did it for a long time also, like I feel like we just kind of did it and like let it go for like really like much longer than what you see, and I feel like that also like allowed us to just like find things and be like, oh, that happened that we weren't expecting, and like maybe it goes in this direction again. Or I feel like improv was like a really big tool, especially for that scene.
For the joy of the cinematographer.